I caught my fiancé cheating with my best man. The night before our wedding. Let that shit sink in. Not some random guy. Not her ex. My best friend. The man I've known since I was 12 years old. The man I asked to stand next to me on the most important day of my life. It all went down the night before the wedding. I was staying at a hotel across town, tradition, right? No seeing the bride before the big day. She was in an Airbnb with her bridesmaids. Everything was ready. Tuxes tailored. Rings polished. Family flying in from different states. And Tyler, my best man. He was supposed to be helping me coordinate last-minute stuff. He even gave this whole emotional speech the night before about how proud he was of me, how I deserved someone like her, how lucky we both were. He told me he was heading over to the Airbnb to drop off a box of decorations. I thought nothing of it. I went to bed early, wanted to be well rested for the biggest day of my life. And then, at around 1:30 a.m., I got a text from her maid of honor. It just said, "Hey, this is awkward, but you really need to know something." Attached was a picture. My best man, shirtless, in the Airbnb kitchen. Her hand on his back. I thought I was dreaming. I stared at it for a full minute trying to understand. Then the second picture came through, both of them blurry, but clearly kissing. I jumped out of bed, grabbed my keys, and drove across the city like a man possessed. I didn't even think. I just drove. When I pulled up to the Airbnb, I didn't knock. The front door was cracked. I walked in. The house was dark except for the kitchen lights. I turned the corner, and there they were, on the couch, laughing, her legs across his lap. Both of them half-dressed. Her in a robe. Him in sweatpants, no shirt. She froze. He stood up like I was the one invading. And then this motherfucker had the audacity to say, "Bro, let me explain." I didn't punch him. I didn't yell. I just looked at her and said, "You really couldn't wait one more day?" She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. I turned around and walked out. Drove back to the hotel. Sat in the car for an hour, just numb. I called off the wedding before the sun even came up. Sent a message to every guest. Told them the ceremony was canceled, but the reception was still on. I told them they might as well enjoy the open bar. I never looked back. And now you're probably wondering, how the hell did we get here? What led up to this moment? Because betrayal like that doesn't just happen out of nowhere. And you'd be right. There were signs. I just ignored them. Me and her, we'd been together for almost 6 years. Met through mutual friends. I was 25. She was 22. She had this energy, you know? Confident. Smart. Funny in a dry, sarcastic way. And she was beautiful. We clicked fast. First date turned into a whole weekend. We moved in together after a year. Traveled together. Built a whole damn life. She got along with my family. My mom loved her. Everyone said we were the perfect couple. And I believed it. Tyler? He was my best friend since middle school. We grew up 2 blocks apart. We played football together. Got into trouble together. Graduated together. He was like a brother. I trusted him with everything. And yeah, she and Tyler got along, but why wouldn't they? He was my best friend. He was around all the time. They joked. They got each other gifts. Played pranks on me. I thought it was cute. Looking back now, I was blind. There were moments. Little things. The time I came home early and found them sitting on the couch a little too close, laughing like they had some inside joke. Or the time she said Tyler helped her carry groceries when I was out of town, even though I never told him she was alone. Or when I saw a random Venmo payment from her to him labeled dessert winky face, and she said it was for cupcakes. Cupcakes, my ass. I confronted her once, casually. Asked if she ever felt something for him. She laughed it off. Said, "EW babe, that's your best friend. That'd be like hooking up with your brother." I laughed too. Thought I was just being insecure. But deep down, something felt off. I guess I just didn't want to believe it. We got engaged during a trip to Mexico. I planned it for months. Set up this whole sunset dinner on the beach. She cried. Said yes. I thought it was the happiest moment of our lives. I didn't know that a week before that trip, she had slept with him for the first time. Yeah. Found that out later. I found her old phone. She forgot to wipe it before trading up. It was in a drawer. I powered it on just to look at old pictures. What I found were texts, messages, pictures, video clips from over a year before the wedding. They started sleeping together during a rough patch she said we were in. It never stopped. They didn't just cheat. They had a whole second relationship behind my back. While I was planning a wedding, writing vows, booking vendors, they were sneaking around, laughing about how clueless I was. And Tyler? He didn't even apologize. Not really. After I canceled the wedding, he texted me, "Sorry it ended this way. Bro, hope we can talk one day." Like we just had a falling out over basketball or some dumb shit. The worst part? I would have taken a bullet for him. For both of them. And they stabbed me in the back with the same knife. You know what's crazy though? I'm grateful. Because they exposed themselves before I signed that paper. Before I built a family with her. Before I spent my whole life living a lie. I dodged a damn bullet. And if you're listening to this right now, wondering if the weird feeling you have is paranoia, maybe it's not. Maybe your gut is smarter than you think. Pay attention to the small things. The way they act when they think you're not watching. The names that come up too often. The secrets they say are nothing. Sometimes the truth is ugly. But living in a lie is worse. I walked away with nothing but my pride. And that's worth more than a wedding ring ever was.